to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a girl talk / advice video, so let's get straight into it. The first question comes from Thee, and it says, what should you do when you feel like you're getting dragged around by your friends and not getting to do what you want? My answer to this would be simply to just communicate to them, because sometimes friends don't realize they're doing it and sometimes they do, and if they know what they're doing and they're doing it on purpose, I would say just find some new friends because they're not worth it. And if they don't realize they're doing it, sometimes they just need to be told they're doing it so they can fix their problem and make you feel more welcomed. Thee's next question is how to stay productive. So before I answer this, I do want to say I'm unproductive just like everybody else, and I procrastinate a lot too. But what's really been helping me lately is a planner. I use my physical planner, and like today I have written down film video, drink water, wake up by a certain time, and then when I'm done, I just check it off. And at the end of the day, I can go back and look, oh, well, today I filmed my video, and today I drank lots of water. And then, I don't know, it makes me feel kind of accomplished. But if you don't have a physical planner, you can always go into your notes app or reminders app on your phone. You can write down what you need to do for the day, and then you can check it off. And that's how I keep myself productive. Thee's last question is how to not care about others' opinions. I would say just to focus on yourself, and I know that sounds really hard, but people are always going to say things about you, and if you start believing what they're saying, it's going to affect the relationship you have with yourself, and you really need to believe in yourself and just not worry about what other people are saying. The next question comes from Alexis, and it says, at what age did you start liking makeup and why do you like it? I would say I always liked makeup, even when I was a little kid, but I didn't really want to start posting it until about 2 or 3 months ago when Euphoria Season 2 came out. Everybody was doing all those cool, like, jeweled looks, and I didn't have any jewels, I didn't have any colorful makeup. All I had was this brown eyeshadow palette, so I ended up redoing this look and posting it onto shorts, and people really liked it and I really enjoyed doing it, so now I post almost every single day. And I like doing it because I feel like for an hour or 2 out of the day I can be creative and almost create a character, so I think it's a really cool thing. This next question comes from Summer Vibes, and it says, do you have any advice for starting a YouTube channel? So really my only tips would be to be consistent, post content that you love posting, and don't worry about what other people say, because there's always going to be haters, but if you love what you're posting, then it really shouldn't matter. Those are really the only tips that I have, but comment down below if you have a small YouTube channel, and I'll go subscribe to you, and if you need any more tips and tricks, I can definitely help you out. The next question from Summer Vibes says, what foundation do you use? So for the longest time, I was using this Purely BB cream. I think that's how you say it. It's actually linked in my Chit Chat Get Ready With Me, but I ran out of it. So I went to the store and I repurchased the e.l.f. one. I used to use this all the time, but I just stopped using it because I really don't like the look of foundation on my face. So I typically add my moisturizer from The Ordinary with it to kind of turn it into a BB cream, but that's the one that I'm currently using. The next question that Summer Vibes asked was eyeshadow ideas. So I really think the only advice I can give you is maybe to ask your followers to give you some ideas. That's usually where I get mine from. And if I don't get them from my followers, I'll just look up a topic on the internet like Harry Potter, and I'll look up eye looks for Harry Potter and I'll do them on my face and kind of create them into my own. But if I can't think of anything, sometimes I'll just open my eyeshadow palettes and just start putting random colors on my face, and that's how I get my looks sometimes. So that's really the only advice I have. Summer Vibes' next question is how to make friends. Okay, so I'm really bad at giving advice on this because I don't really make a lot of friends myself. I have one best friend, and we met because she used to live on my street. So I'm not the greatest at making friends, but sometimes I'll just go up to somebody, like in school, if I saw a girl and I was like, she looks cool, I kind of want to be friends with her. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and go up to them and say, hi, my name is da-da-da-da-da. Would you like to be friends, or would you like to exchange numbers? And I think sometimes that's a really good way to make friends. Summer Vibes' next question is how to get closer to friends. Really, my only advice for this is you guys just have to talk, text, talk in person, hang out more, because if you don't, then your relationship is just going to stay the same because you guys are not doing activities together to get that bond closer. The next thing Summer Vibes needed advice on was toxic friends. My only advice on toxic friends is to leave them and get away from them, because the more you hang around toxic people, the more it's going to drag down your energy. And if you're a really positive person, they're just going to take that energy and they're going to drain it from you. So you just need to leave them. You're always going to be able to find new people and people that'll fit in with you. Her next thing she needed advice on was bullying. I think it's a really hard thing to notice sometimes and even to tell people, but my number one thing would be to tell an adult, tell your principal, tell your mom, your dad, your grandpa, grandma, your aunt, uncle, whoever, your cousin. You need to talk to somebody about it because it can make you really sad if you don't talk to somebody about it. I know I got really sad in middle school. I would come home and I would cry a lot because all these things that they're saying about me, I'm like, they say they're joking, but they're calling me fat, they're calling me ugly. I don't really think that's a joke. So I think sometimes you just need to talk to somebody about it so that you know that it's not okay and you need to get away from those people because it's just not right. The next thing she needed advice on was test. So if you guys have been watching my shorts, you'd know I just had state testing and it's absolutely one of the most awful things throughout the year. It creates so much stress and anxiety for me. But I think the biggest thing that one of my teachers told me this year was if you fail, you fail. Like, I don't know if you guys get retakes on your test and your state testing, but we do. So she just told us if you fail, you fail. You can retake it. You have so many times to retake it before you graduate. If you fail, you fail. And I think that mindset really helped me in a way because it was like, I'm going to try my best and I'm going to try to retain as much information as I can. But if I don't get it right, that's okay. I can try again. The last thing she needed advice on was dress code. So thankfully I'm in online school now, but I do know that when I was in middle school, they had like this whole list of rules that you had to go by that were so weird. They were like, your shirt had to go over your leggings, your dresses can't come up a certain length, your clothes can't be too baggy, can't be too tight, your jeans can't have holes in them. But I think sometimes, even as hard as it is, you just have to realize I'm only going to be in school for this amount of time, and they're never going to change the dress code, so sometimes you just have to go and find clothes that fit into their dress code so that you can just get school over with, and when you go home, you can put on your baggy clothes and your dresses and whatever. So this next question comes from Tatum, and it says age gaps in relationships. So I can't really give a lot of advice on this because I don't date, but I would say definitely in age gaps in relationships, I wouldn't do it, especially when you're this young, because it can end you up in a lot of scary and sticky situations that you probably shouldn't be in. And relationships, period, I feel like when you're this young, you should just enjoy your childhood and enjoy your teenage years and not focus on boys or girls or whatever, and I think you should just focus on yourself. So this next question comes from Summer Vibes, and we're now getting into the period questions, and it says how to deal with cramps. So I can really only think of a few things, and the first one you might think is kind of weird, but sometimes I like laying on the ground because I feel like the pressure on my stomach really helps. But number 2 would be a heating pad. Sometimes ice packs help me, but I don't know if that'll work for everybody else. And the last thing would be like medicines like ibuprofen, Myadol, maybe some other things. But also don't forget to drink lots of water and get lots of rest because your body's going through a lot of things. The last question from Summer Vibes said must-need items. Like I just said in the previous one, I would say you probably need a heating pad and probably at least need some Myadol or ibuprofen. But obviously you need some like pads, or if you want to use tampons you can, but definitely talk to your mom about that or whatever guardian you have. And I think those are the only things you really need. So the next question comes from Jasmine, and it says, when you first get your period, what are proper ways to handle it? My very first piece of advice would be to please tell your mom or your dad or whatever guardian it is, because it's so important that they know. I know that when I first got it, I hid it from my mom because I was like, this is so gross, like she doesn't need to know that. But every woman in the world gets it, so please tell them. And my other tips would be make sure you're showering, keeping yourself clean, and just make sure, like I said before, you're drinking lots of water and getting lots of rest. Also, don't forget to use like pads and panty liners and tampons. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, comment down below and tell me if I should do another one and comment more questions. I love you guys. Bye.